After strolling around in what seemed like hell, Thor discovered that Donald Blake bested Jormungand, aka the Midgard Serpent, which spoke volumes about how powerful Donald was because even Odin would struggle to pull that off. But it was actually Jormungand's fault because he was the one responsible for opening Donald's eyes. His original intention was to corrupt him so that they could team up and take down Odin together, but after informing him that he was just a pawn in Odin's game, he not only stole Jormungand's power, but realized that he had access to the Odin Force, which is why he was so powerful. Meanwhile, back at Asgard, Blake had given himself a little makeover, shaving off all his facial hair and cutting his hair so he could go see Jane Foster. Jane wasn't aware of Donald's rampage and knew motives either, so when he visited her, she gladly took him up on his offer to go out to dinner with him. But in Dimension Blood, the dimension that Donald transported all the Asgardians to, Beta Ray Bill's wounds were being treated by Vampacabras, who are little demon warriors that look like goats. But anyways, Bill and Sif were frustrated because they needed to get back to Asgard. They couldn't think of a way to, but then Bill realized that all they needed to do was find Lockjaw, the inhuman dog, because he had the ability to teleport people around. But then Thori informed him that he was gone because he went to go help a friend that he sensed was in danger. Donald and Jane's dinner, however, was quite interesting. The only reason it happened was because Donald wanted to know where Odin was and he thought Jane might know. But because she didn't, they caught up on life, and one of the things she mentioned was that she was Thor at one point. Donald was completely unaware of this because he was trapped in Thor's body, so upon finding out, he wanted to tear her apart, envisioning himself stabbing her hand with the table knife and ripping out her enchantment. But before doing so, he stopped himself and left because he didn't believe she deserved to die, because at one point in time she loved him for who he was. Later that night, Donald navigated through a swamp searching for a particular version of Thor, and upon demanding him to show himself, he was struck by an insane amount of lightning, and that's when none other than Throg himself and Lockjaw showed up, with Throg suggesting for Donald to run because he wasn't hiding, he was hunting. But sadly, that's when our issue comes to an end. But if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.